Hi, this is Dennis with Visual Imaging Solutions. A few weeks ago I was reading F-Stopper's photography website and I saw an interesting article, and they wrote this headline, of course, to get me to stop and read, just like for anybody else. And the headline said this: "The strange camera format you've never heard of." I've got that article right in front of me here. And I thought, well, what kind of strange camera format could that be? I think I've heard of them all. So I took a little bit of a glance at the article itself, and what they were talking about was APS-H, which is a sensor format that is a little bit smaller than full frame and a little bit bigger than cropped sensor APS-C. It's still a crop sensor. It's a 1.3x crop as opposed to a 1.6 or 1.7x crop in APS-C, but still a little bit smaller than full frame. Now, why would you have a sensor like that? Well, back in the early 2000s, the first decade of the 2000s, it was a little hard to get high-speed image processing in a camera when you had a full-frame sensor readout. The computer technology just wasn't quite up to the task, but there was still a demand for a fast camera for sports and maybe for photojournalism and possibly for birds. There were use cases for a fast camera. So some kind of compromise needed to be made. APS-C was one possibility, and many people enjoyed APS-C format and still do, but a bigger sensor gathers more light more effectively, leads to a little bit shallower depth of field with all the lenses that you're using, and if you can do a little telephoto cropping in camera because you've got a bit of a crop on the sensor itself, wildlife photographers in particular might enjoy that. So Canon thought a nice mixture of capabilities could be found in the APS-H sensor size. And the greatest of their APS-H sensors found their way to the 1D line of cameras, their professional series, and the last, and perhaps then the greatest of them all, was the 1D Mark IV. I was inspired to take out my 1D Mark IV by this article. I thought, well, if F-Stoppers thought it was noteworthy enough to publish something about it, I have one of these cameras, we should go put it to the test and show you what it can do. One of the things that some of the commenters on the F-Stoppers article said was good riddance to this technology, because APS-C nowadays is quite good and full frame is tremendous. But does APS-H still have a place? Can a 1D Mark IV, can this old camera still perform? We took it out in the landscape, which is not intended to be a landscape camera. That was not Canon's purpose in making this camera, but we thought let's put it to a test in a way that was beyond what Canon thought would be optimum for this camera. We're not going to shoot sports for this test. We're not going to shoot journalism for this test. We're going to use this in the landscape. A better landscape camera might be a full frame camera, but let's just see how APS-H performs. So we wanted to go to a place nearby that we hadn't been for a number of years. I think roughly about 2013 we had visited this location and we shot a few photos in the fall. So as part of our fall photography series, we thought we'd go back to that location with this camera, the 1D Mark IV, and see what it could produce and see if the quality was good enough that this camera could perform in 2025 and beyond. Let's go take a look.
Let's see if we can see that out the window a little bit there. So we are going to a park today, huh? Hopefully if we can make it in time to get this.
Well, there's a spot where there's a river that's a tributary of Lake Michigan, and it goes through an old bridge that's kind of scenic. And a long time ago we went there and did a photo, and I don't even know what camera we used. A long time ago.
It was a long time ago.
And it was this time of year, and we're going there again. And it should be interesting to try to get there because I see that I thought maybe this road would have been open by now.
Oh boy, yes.
But it's not, so we might be taking a bit of a detour to get where we're going. Well, we've got good and bad, I think. Some good about the cloudy and the wet weather, and some not. awful lot of birds up in that dead ash tree.
I'm getting them here. Oh.
Well, how'd that work out?
Well,
the last time we came to this spot to do photography was almost 12 years ago. 11 years ago, 11 and a half years ago, 12 years ago.
it's been a while.
Yeah, so things have changed, and they built a new bridge, walking bridge, over the Branch River. That wasn't here before.
Nope.
And they left the old one, so that is interesting.
Yeah, so
So then we got to find a place to shoot a photo. Now I think we might have to do 2 photos. I think we did, I'm trying to remember what we did 12 years ago. I think we did some looking down the Branch River that direction. But now I think if we shot in that direction as well, because I think that maple tree that's over the river over there.
it's a bit of a dreary day today.
It sure is.
Wet, a little rainy. You can see the raindrops on the water here.
Yeah, when you're under the big oak tree, you don't even feel them.
What was that?
Oh, under this big white oak tree, and it's raining out there, but you don't even feel that.
It's
under
getting
the oak
stronger.
tree.
You got a mosquito right here. There. Oh, you got it, but
Stupid
there you.
mosquitoes. All right, I wonder where we should set up to take a first shot.
Let's go down here a little bit further. See if there's a more open spot to stand. See how
I actually kind of like this right here.
this is cool, isn't it?
I mean, you've got these leaves right here, and then you got the bridge in the background. I think we'll set up and do a shot right here.
Okay, hon. Just don't fall in the water, okay?
So I'm using the Neewer Light Trip LT32 travel tripod, and I think for the price what you get with this seems to be a pretty nice tripod. I actually kind of like it more than most of our other tripods at this point because it's fairly sturdy and very, very light and folds up to be so small. And then it comes with this swiveling head, which is convenient. I can get a good level on it, like right there. So that's kind of convenient. So yeah, I think it's a good little tripod. But the main reason we're here today is to use the 1D Mark IV, and that's got that sensor that Time forgot, an APS-H sensor. So it's normally a good sports and action photojournalism type camera, but today we're going to use it for some landscape shooting. There, that I think is going to work. Just rotate this a little bit more. So I thought what I could do is get some of these leaves here in the foreground with the bridge in the background and the road kind of angling off to the right. Okay, I've composed the shot and now I've got it on a 2-second delay so that I can let a bit of a longer exposure take place and get the shot and wait for the traffic to go by. So I actually like a little bit of a darker shot, so I'm going to underexpose this by just a bit and do the shot again. Okay, here we go. So there's the new shot, and it's a little bit underexposed, but I think that brings out the color a little bit more. I think that's our shot for this location. Alright, so with this camera, I don't think this lens, which is the Sigma 20mm f1.4 Art, is really appropriate for the shot to isolate these maple leaves. It's a very wide angle lens, and I think that's why. That's just not allowing me to get the composition that I want. And if you had a more modern mirrorless camera, say like the Canon R5 with this very high megapixel sensor, you wouldn't care all that much because you would just crop in post. But with this camera, it doesn't have that many megapixels by comparison. It's a 16 megapixel, as I said, APS-H sensor. So we're not going to really be able to pull off that crop in the same way. So this is not a composition we can get today.
So this is a really cool spot with all these grasses.
You and your damn grasses. Always taking pictures of grasses.
Well, look at it. Isn't that cool? Look at those grasses in the water. What? I like that. Why are you laughing at me?
I'm going to toss you in the water.
Oh, look at, aren't they cool? What? I think they're so cool. Look at them.
There they are. A couple weeds.
A couple weeds? What?
A couple weeds growing in the water. So I think I'm going to take a shot right here. I mean, I don't know what you think.
Well, I don't know.
These kind of trees frame the scene a little bit. Then we've got some bridge work going on there, and
okay,
some maple color over there.
Yeah. I would have taken a picture of the grasses.
Boring old grasses. That's why we don't let you have a camera.
Well, I guess we see things differently, don't we?
Maybe it's because you're short. They're closer to you.
Yeah. I'm not short, am I?
No, not short. Alright, so. Alright, so I've got my composition, and in this scene I think these trees do frame it kind of nicely, although I'm kind of losing out a little bit on the framing. I have just a little bit on the sides with these trees. I really like that maple tree there. Now unfortunately all the ash trees have died from emerald ash borer, and that ash tree is dead over there. It didn't just lose its leaves for fall, it's just dead. And it's going to be in the shot, but I'm going to leave it in the shot because that's the situation here now. The ash trees have all died, and I guess this will be a documentation of the dead ash trees and the fact that they all died. So. Choose my focus point. Right there. So that's the shot, and that's normal exposure. I'm going to underexpose that one too a little bit more. I'm going to do that shot again. There we go, and I think that brings out some of the moodiness of the scene a little bit better. Because it's with the cloud cover, it's kind of damp and moody today, so that's the shot. Look at that old, craggy, old looking maple.
That's kind of cool,
Yeah,
huh?
Really cool looking tree. I don't know if we can make anything of it. We've got this awful stuff growing here. You recognize that, don't you?
Yeah, that's
Buckthorn.
buckthorn.
A stupid, ugly, invasive species.
And it hurts.
It's got thorns.
It's got really sharp thorns.
That's in the name. It's real. They're real buckthorns.
Yeah.
They're bad. Bad thorns should be named the tree. All right, I'm going to take this shot, and I'm really emphasizing that bark on that maple tree, so let me do that again. I didn't have my 2-second timer on, so I might have had a little camera shake in there. All right, one more time. Play that back again for you. Might be a little hard to see on the camera. We'll show that to you in the video. That'd be my favorite shot of the day so far. But like before, that's a proper exposure. Now I'm going to underexpose it a little bit. And there we go. So I'll bring up the histogram. So you can see the histogram has kind of piled over to the left in the darks a little bit more. And if I go back an image, you can see we shifted the histogram a little bit to the right, to the bright just a little bit more. So they're both a little underexposed, but I think I like, well, probably when I look at the computer I will know better, but I think I like the more underexposed look a little bit better. Should we walk over by that bridgey thing over there?
Sure.
Oh, this is kind of nice right here. What do you think of this scene?
That's really cool.
A little bit different angle. So there's that shot. I think that's a little bit interesting. Alright, now I know a long time ago, 2014, when we were here, we did take a shot of this small bridge under this cedar tree. I guess we can repeat that, huh?
Yeah, that sounds good.
There we go. And there's that shot.
Cool. Should we check and see what's on the other side of the bridge?
Not quite yet. I'm going to actually take this off here temporarily. I'm just going to get a handheld shot over there.
Okay.
Yeah, that's cool. So I wanted to get a shot of the leaves on the bridge and show it receding into the field behind. And that's the shot.
Oh, yeah, that's really cool, honey. Looks like somebody trampled through over there to get some grasses. What?
You want to go get some grasses?
I think you should find at least one grass picture for me. You should take it for.
I don't know if I'm any good at taking grass pictures.
Isn't that cool with the rock and the grasses? What? Why are you laughing at me?
You're silly. I think that wasn't a somebody, it was a something that trampled through here.
Oh, critter?
I think it's deer.
Oh, deer walking through here, huh? Okay, well. It's probably a good spot for them to lay.
Probably. There's some geese. Imagine that. Why would there ever be geese around here? I don't know if I do a good job on that for you. I don't know if I'm a grass photographer. But we'll see.
Some different kind of berries, huh?
Oh yeah. Well, let's see if we can identify those, huh? That is some sort of species of crabapple.
Oh. Not edible, I'm assuming.
You could probably make jelly out of that. You want to try one and see how...
No, I don't want to get sick.
Yeah, that's some sort of little crabapple tree of some sort.
Huh. Interesting. Well, what do you think?
Well, I can try to get something of a photo of those.
Oops, something's flittering in here.
What you got flittering in there?
I don't know. It might have something's going around in here. Maybe it's a mouse.
A mouse?
Well, it was.
That could be.
Yeah.
So there's a photo of some teeny tiny crab apples. Let's try this angle here. Might have something there. Well, this is a wildlife area, and it says no hunting. And so this is, I guess, a wildlife refuge, and it's a local county-owned wildlife refuge. And the trail looks like it's going to be a lot longer than it is, but it's fairly short. So I'd say we should take the camera out and see what there is to see. What do you think?
Sounds great to me.
I'm not going to use a tripod for this. I'm just going to carry the camera. How about that?
That sounds good.
Okay. So generally, because I've got a 20mm prime lens on here with no IS, I want to shoot at roughly, a fraction, if you will, of the focal length. So rule of thumb would be, say, 20mm would be 1/20th of a second at minimum for your shutter speed to reduce camera shake. But I like to double that, if you will, or in this case, shorten that time of exposure with the shutter speed. So I'll be using 1/50th as my basis for starting out. And that should give me a nice steady shot when I take a photo. I could, since it's daylight, probably increase that even to 1/100th. We'll see once we get an exposure. Should we go take a look at the trail?
See if we get rained on?
It's likely that we're going to get rained on. So that's one of the things that's good about this camera. The 1D Mark IV, like all Canon 1D series cameras, this thing is extremely heavily weather sealed, but not completely today because I've got the Sigma Art lens on it, and the Sigma Art lens not weather sealed. So we'll have to be careful with the rain.
Well, at least it's a short trail.
Short trail. Now what I've done just now is put the camera on highlight tone priority, which is a Canon way of saying the camera is going to lower the exposure a little bit automatically to protect against the highlights, because there's not a lot of texture or detail in the clouds, but there might be a little bit, and if I take a shot with some clouds in it, we might as well get the best that we can. And that's just a little bit more convenient to use highlight tone priority than just to modify the shutter speed, which you can still do as well, of course. I'm shooting manual mode. I think I'm going to get this shot right here.
This is really cool, huh?
Yeah. Yep, nice little shot. There we go.
Look at those, the color on.
That's the Sumac.
The color on the Sumac. I love Sumac.
I think I'll try to get a shot with that as the primary focus. What do you think?
I think that would be really cool.
I think that's going to be a nifty shot right there.
Oh wow, yep, that's going to be a beauty. Oh, look at these cool trees, huh? I mean, just the trail is beautiful.
Yeah.
Looks like the trail up here is lined with sumac.
Well, it does. It's a grove of sumac. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, here comes the rain.
It looks like these are the critters. They're missing one really important one.
What's that?
Bigfoot.
Oh, come on. Polar bear. There's no polar bear here.
Oh, I don't know. There's a lot of polar bears in Wisconsin. Didn't you know they like to live along the shore of Lake Superior?
Yeah, whatever.
They primarily like it in January.
Wow.
So there's a wood duck house out there.
Yeah, this is really sad.
I don't know, if you were a wood duck, would you choose to live in this pond?
I don't know.
Well, I don't think it's ready for a photo.
I don't think so.
Walk over there and see what's on that side of the opening.
Where?
Just over here. Maybe the pond gets nicer over here.
No, it's dark in the sky. We might get rain down here.
Yeah, it's sprinkling.
Well, did you want to check out that pond area? Doesn't look much better, honey.
No, it doesn't look a lot better.
Kind of green.
Very green. Well, while I'm here, I'll take a photo.
Might as well. There are some cool grasses over there.
That's their grasses, yeah. Try to make the horizon level. Well, it might be an interesting photo.
What if we stand right here and take one?
Okay.
No?
Well, I think those might be, for a nasty swamp looking pond, it might be kind of interesting photos.
It is a dreary day after all.
Yeah. A very old bluebird house.
Bluebird?
Yep. You might need to bump up the exposure on that a little bit. There we go.
I like bluebirds, but you don't see too many around here.
At High Cliff State Park,
Oh, okay.
there's usually quite a few bluebirds there.
Okay.
But not this time of year. They've gone.
Oh,
There might
okay.
have been some here this year if we'd have been here earlier in the year.
Oh, okay. Well,
But yeah, they're out of here. And the pavilion over here. And there's a road sign over there.
really?
In the field.
That's weird.
Yeah. There must be. Oh, that's why. I'm like, there's a road sign in the field. Well, it's because it's on the road. We're back at the parking lot.
Well, like you said, this was a short one.
So a little short trail.
But good, because it's sprinkling,
Yeah.
and we're gonna get.
We're just in time to get back in the truck so that the Sigma lens doesn't get wet.
Yeah. Oh, look at how pretty that white pine is.
There's a pretty white
Nice
pine.
and soft. I love white pine. Okay, let's get back in before we get wet.
Yep.
Not that you'll melt, right?
Well, I'm not worried about me. I'm worried about my lens.
Don't worry about me, though.
Well, heck, you can handle it. So what did you think of these photos? Well, I can tell you in the field, using the camera is really a joy. The quality is, like every 1D camera that Canon has ever produced, it's top-notch. The shutter sound, the shutter feeling when you release the shutter, it just feels quality. Other cameras may be good. They are good. We've used many cameras over the years, but there is something special about the shutter release in the 1D Mark IV. It just feels so solid. Now for sports shooters, it's 10 frames per second, which isn't very fast compared to some of the cameras you can buy today. But 10 frames per second was the best in the market when it came out, and it's still pretty competitive today. There's a lot of things 10 frames per second can do. Of course, you don't need 10 frames per second when you're shooting landscape photos. And what I found with doing the landscapes, and when looking at the photos themselves, when I put them on the computer, was they're very, very sharp. They're very, very clear. This sensor really performs better than anyone might think for its size. In fact, I think it's quite comparable to full frame at much higher resolutions. So speaking of resolutions, this is a 16 megapixel camera, but this is a 16 megapixel sensor. And nonetheless, it performs, I'd say, almost equivalently to a full frame sensor. So compared to, say, the Canon 5D Mark IV, 32 megapixels. Yes, that's a much bigger image that you're producing with that camera, but the clarity, the sharpness, the quality that's coming out of this APS-H sensor from many years before, it still performs right up there with, I think, the best. I think you can use this camera professionally. I would not hesitate to use this camera professionally. In fact, in some places, I think it might actually be better than one of my favorite older cameras, the 1DS Mark III from Canon, which is a full-frame 21 megapixel sensor. Yeah, I'd take the 1DS Mark III for many things over this camera, but if I'm looking for speed combined with image quality, I might have to lean toward the 1D Mark IV. So what do you think of APS-H? I think we're going to use our 1D Mark IV a lot. We enjoy it. It's a great camera. We haven't even touched on its video capabilities. That might be for a later video. But let us know in the comments. Do you think the APS-H sensor in the 1D Mark IV is worth considering? I think it might be, especially at the cost you can get these on the used market. If you're an aspiring professional and you need a robust camera with high image quality at a low price, the price to performance ratio on this camera is very, very good. So that's what we have for you today from Visual Imaging Solutions. We hope you liked it. We hope you subscribe, and we appreciate the support. Come back next time for more. Thanks. Bye.